Good. We missed yesterday, but it
Yeah,
seemed that we both were going off in a different direction, and I'm glad that we were able to get together today. That's awesome.
yeah,
So,
that's good.
so what did you want to talk about today?
Well, first of all, I love that little story you sent me
Oh, isn't that amazing? You know
about
what?
the raven. Have you
Yeah.
shared that with your viewers or?
No, I never have. Just one second. I'll look it up for you. So this is what I sent you, and I don't think I've shared this with anyone other than, I posted on Facebook a long time ago. Uh, this was me at 4 years old, and this is my pet raven that I saved. Actually, its name was Inky. And so, majority of the time, when you're on, doing your videos, you have Raven behind you. And I went, well, this
Yeah.
is why we're sisters, because
Uh,
I raised a raven. Uh,
yeah.
it fell out of the tree, and my sister brought it out of our backyard into the house, and she and I bonded like nobody's business. And
Uh-huh.
she was with us for years, actually. My father tried to take her away from the family twice. In fact, the last time we were on a military base up north, and a friend of ours was going way, way, way long ways away, like, I don't know, 800 miles, something like that. Took Inky with him, and a couple of days later, Inky was tapping on our window. Well, my father was like, "Oh, for Christ's sakes,
Oh, that's
that
brilliant.
bird's back!" It was really quite funny. But you can see we were pretty poor, I mean, and yet we never knew it. Just
Yeah.
life was grand, and me and my pet bird, little raven, I just loved Inky. And
Oh, that's such a good picture too.
yeah, she's sweet, hey? Yeah.
Mhm.
So I was just going to say, so how was your week? How are you doing? What's going on with you this week?
Well, I had a great week actually. I've been celebrating my 60th birthday, which is today, all week.
What? Oh my God, happy birthday. I love week-long birthdays. Aren't they great? Well, happy birthday. Happy
Okay.
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear
Yeah.
Janine. Happy birthday to you. There you go.
I'm pretty
Everyone was
famous
singing.
yeah, I'm pretty famous at throwing my own birthday parties and yupping it up pretty good. So people are my friends are all used to me doing that. But
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
just having the best so far day ever. And here I
wow.
am with you, Carrie. Yay.
Oh, I just love you. My gosh, 60. You don't look 60, number one. And I think that's, we're reversing the aging process, right? And you definitely look like you're reversing the aging process. That's amazing.
Having my son at 43 really helped keep me young. I think it really did. Yeah, I
You
don't
know,
know.
yeah, I was 37 with Amelia, and that's
Wow.
what I always said too, was having her so
Yeah,
and in those days, I mean, it was late. Like, people were,
yeah,
oh, you can't have
that's
a baby at this age. You're going to have to abort. And I was like, nope, she'll be fine. Oh, we'll
yeah,
have some
that's pretty
amniocentesis.
much what they said to me too.
Yeah,
47
40.
though, that is wild. Wow, that is brilliant.
No, 37, not
Oh,
47.
37. Yeah.
37.
Well,
Yeah,
even 37 is considered, what do they call they
geriatric.
geriatric. Yeah. I'm like,
Pregnancy, a
are you kidding?
geriatric pregnancy. Are you kidding? Exactly. I was hot at 37.
Exactly.
I was so damn fit.
For sure.
Yeah, yeah. Don't tell me I'm a geriatric. Even at
Yeah.
60, not a
So,
geriatric. Well, I'm 57. I'm just behind you. So,
yeah.
yeah, this year I'm turning
Wonderful.
57.
Yeah.
So, well, happy birthday. What a
Thank you.
great time to be alive, right?
Yeah. It is so exciting to be on the Earth plane right now. This
I
is like,
know.
wow.
I
Yeah.
know, and we chose to be here right now. This is so
We did.
exciting.
Yeah.
So I was looking at a whole bunch of things. I wrote you about Hillary Clinton because I got quite a few emails and newsreels and stuff that came about Hillary being arrested and going through tribunals and actually hung in Gitmo.
Yeah. I
Did
got
you
that
see?
too.
Did you?
I got a
Yeah.
lot of people sent me all those details.
Yeah, yeah. So, what do you think about that? Because we've heard so many times that, oh, she's arrested. Oh, she's a clone. Oh, she's gone,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But I actually think this one was the real one.
Yeah. Well, I got that that happened maybe like that, maybe, but it was months before they released the information. So
Oh,
when I read on it, I did a whole show on it. But what I didn't do was, why would they put that? Why would they circulate that story?
now.
Now, I got a feeling they're very strategically letting things cat out of the bag here.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because it was, well, it was about a month ago that I was looking at Gitmo, you know, a lucid dream. I woke up, I sat up, and I was like, what is
Yeah.
with Gitmo? And actually, no, I turned on my computer, and Google Earth was on my computer, and I was like, why is Earth on my computer? And it was Gitmo was
Yeah.
showing up.
Well, I mentioned that in one of my videos, that you had done that because it triggered me to do some reading around that.
Yeah.
Because you had got that they were blocking out part of the coast
ocean.
around Gitmo. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Did you see that? Yeah, it was really interesting to see those two boats that were coming in. If you guys haven't seen it, go back to my old videos and you'll see one on Gitmo there. And the two boats, it's like the ocean is totally blanked out, you know, and they've scrubbed it, but you can see two boats coming out of nowhere and clear ocean underneath it. And you can see these two boats coming to shore. So what was it that they blocked out, right? And who was arriving? Yeah. So what do you want to ask about that then with Hillary Clinton?
Well, let's just look around there, releasing that information.
Okay.
So, because it came from somewhere and it was very detailed. It was interesting.
Yeah.
So let's have a look. I mean, according to the information I got, it even sounded like Mr. T weighed in on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, apparently he was there, right?
Yeah. So let's look at, is the timing around that correct? I'll just look at that again because it's important to just keep checking in on it.
Yeah.
And then we'll look all around whatever the universe wants to tell us about why that was released, when it really happened, if it was accurate to the timing.
Was the timing correct? Yes or no?
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, let's have that.
I can tell you.
I don't get it was either. I get it was months before they hid the real time.
Yeah. Was it months before? Absolutely. Yeah. 2 months before.
6 months
Yeah.
before.
Yeah. Actually.
2 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I see the tower coming down.
The thing was true though. So there was truth to it.
Yes. Yeah. So the tower was, it's all falling apart. This is really exciting. Yeah. So
it is.
Yeah. And it's like everything is in order. And what I get from this is it's all being played out. They're taking one piece and they're bringing it forward. And it's like patience. We've got to have patience, you know? Yeah. What the cabal itself, you know, the deep state, head is in hand. They're starting to really feel the pressure now.
Yeah, so that's the part I get around it.
Yep, exactly.
Very similar, right? So they're at their wits' end.
Very similar read, yeah. But there is a reward. There's a reward in the end. The reward is coming, and that's really exciting, right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Okay. I like how we're yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
Well, it's very similar cards again. Yeah. Okay. So the tribunals, are the tribunals also going on at the White House? Because I've heard that rumor that the tribunals themselves are actually going on at the White House. I actually think that the White House is being cleaned out. Yeah, it's so being cleaned out, right? It's in God's hands again. And new beginnings, brand new beginnings by spirit. Yeah.
I got an ace too. Oh my goodness, ace. Yeah. So I think that is happening.
Yeah.
There's some people that made certain deals that are being processed at the White House.
Yeah.
So there's a certain group in a certain sort of category, because I'm sure there's all these categories for how did they have to get wrestled down, like Tom Hanks? Did they have to get like how cooperative are they being? Right? Yeah.
Well, I got the devil, you know, speaking of Tom Hanks, that was so disappointing. I got to tell you, Tom Hanks was one of my favorite actors ever, and to have that realization of what he is about. So what is going on at the White House? I think it's the clearing of the demonic energy. I loved that the First Lady, she would not enter into the White House until it was completely cleared out energetically.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought
And everyone thought that was so weird. Oh, she had a good point there. Oh my goodness.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The thing about Tom Hanks coming to people's awareness is it really sums up everything about what's going on, because you can't fathom who's involved in this and what they've been up to. And so he's the perfect example, because look at all the movies he played like that, such an innocent, really, in that Forrest Gump and everything. I mean, and yet he's demonic, literally, like that devil card you just pulled.
Well, that's just it. I mean, if they really knew how many dead bodies that were in the backyard or something to that effect, he said, right? You know, nice guy. Yeah, nice guy, until you find out how many dead bodies were in the backyard. And it's I love this card too, because it's choices, and there's good and there's bad. And I think that's what's going on at the White House. I think it's the clearing of, you know, the demons and the dragons, the negative dragons, but there's also the wish cards, right? There's, you know, again, reward, celebration. It's all coming together. I think that what's going on at the White House, are there tribunals, yes or no? I don't actually know if there are tribunals. I don't think so. Are they cleaning out the White House? Yes or no? The Hermit just came.
Yeah, I got the Hermit too. What I was getting was they might be having meetings and making deals there. So they're utilizing the office spaces to make deals with high up rollers who, you know, want to have better conditions.
Right, because it's pretty much, it's closed down, right? So there's no one there. It's not in operation. So I got the Hermit and the Fool. They just fell out of my.
Cool. Oh, and I got the Three of Cups. Now the Three of Cups aligns us with that party substance that's really evil and demonic. And I got a feeling underneath the White House there was a big operation going that had everything to do with that.
Yeah, that was the tunnels. And same with Parliament. So this goes back a long ways. Did you see my videos from, oh my gosh, 6 months ago? I again, stumbling, Spirit just kind of showed me. I heard very clearly, look on to the webcam of the White House. And I thought, there's a webcam on the White House? I didn't know that.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah. And so I looked at it, and first of all, I saw a spaceship, but then I saw the construction in the front, and I thought, I wonder if there's any construction going on at Parliament in Canada. Well, the whole front, oh yes, they dug down like 2 stories, right? It was
brilliant.
Yeah. And underneath there is a flat roof, cement, flat roof. There is nothing. You know, I mean, I was in construction for years. My ex-husband and I were land builders. I'm afraid to say, you know, not afraid to say, but it wasn't a prideful time, you know, in my career, but because we did a lot of destruction of, you know, of land. So anyways, when you dig up land, it's rubble and it's rock, and you don't find roofs, concrete roofs underneath parking lots or underneath, you know, grass. But it was massive, this huge roof underneath the entrance of Parliament. And I know my way all the way through Parliament, because it was prior to 9/11 that I was actually working in Parliament. So I had carte blanche. As long as I had my security, you know, thing, I went through CSIS, they checked me all out. I could go all the way through Parliament back then and just knock on doors. And so I used to explore through there, and it was pretty creepy. I got to tell you, there were some places that were pretty creepy.
Ooh.
Okay, so Bill C-10 just came out. I don't know if you know about that one. This
I kind of know.
Yeah, it was Justin Trudeau's trying to take over control of what we post in social media. And so Pierre, I can never pronounce his last name. It's like Poilievre, something like that. Poilievre.
I can't say it either.
I know, yeah. God bless him. I love him. I absolutely love that guy, you know, and I think he should be our prime minister. But I watched a video of his just briefly, and he was saying something to the effect that this bill is very unassuming looking. And I thought exactly that, because I pulled it up and it was like, there's not much to this. But if you go deep into it, as all bills are, it's like an omnibus bill where it's hidden. It's asking for, you know, Indigenous rights being protected under the, you know, Broadcast Act, but it also puts stuff in there that there's control of what you see, what you hear, what you learn, and what you post, what you are putting on social media.
Unbelievable.
Trudeau wants control of all of that. And so, yeah, our hard work is starting to pay off. You know, we need to start to stand up. We need to say enough is enough, because you got to phone your MP, you got to phone your MLA about that one. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what would you like to ask?
First, that's not going to go through is what I get. Oh, no way. Yeah, because this flips everything. Karma's going to bite those guys in the butt.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's funny. I love how we read together.
It's funny. Yeah. Yeah. It looks like literally right at the bitter end. Yeah. And that 10 of Swords is the bitter end.
It is the bitter end. So those are leading up to this, right? Yeah.
Just by the hair of their chinny chin chin, we're going to get that out of there. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Okay, good. Well, that's exciting. What else? I made a whole bunch of, oh, this was interesting. I had an insight. I was working with a client and I was channeling for her. And I saw the Disney movie Prince of Egypt. Are you familiar with the movie Prince of Egypt? It was about, what was his name? My God, Moses, duh.
Oh, really? It was about Moses?
It was about Moses and his origin. And in the movie, it showed Armageddon, basically, where, you know, God came in and he brought a virus. He brought death to anyone that didn't have the lamb's blood, you know, across the doorway.
Right.
And as I'm looking at this, I'm channeling, I'm saying, you know, it's almost like we're coming to the end, and it's like that movie where those that have the lamb's blood across their doorway are safe. You know, the blood of the lamb is shed. It's gone, right? And then I realized, oh my God, it's sheep. It's not lamb, it's sheep. The sheep, if you continue to be a sheep, you're going to be gone. But if you remove yourself, if you cut yourself from the being a sheep, if you say, I am no longer a sheep, right, then you are saved.
Yeah.
I never understood that part of the Bible, right? I never understood that part of the Bible. And you know, it's like, it was an epiphany. It was like, oh my goodness me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the wake up call. So it's definitely about people waking up from sleeping, and we're calling those people sheeple and sleepers.
Sheeple. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so important. A couple of my friends actually came around. One in particular, I'm going to be going to a rally tomorrow with her at 1:00 in the afternoon.
Where's the rally?
It's I think they're meeting downtown right by that Peace Bridge.
Okay.
We're going to start there.
Calgary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's going all around downtown, and then it's going to head, I think, into Bridgeland, but I'm not 100% sure. So look it up, the Calgarians. You'll find it. It's a peaceful rally about freedom, basically.
Awesome.
And I'm meeting her at 1:00, I think, in Bridgeland. And
Good.
then we'll walk across the bridge, and
So we've got one converted. Yay!
Yeah, she all out of the blue, and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
She was already like pretty wise. She's a wise gal, And she just started putting things together and watched some of my videos. Yay!
Yay!
And it didn't take her long after a few videos to get where Mr. T was different than, of course, we've all been told.
I know. You know, I'm
Right?
embarrassed to say that I couldn't stand him.
Figure it out.
Yeah, I couldn't stand him for years. I would go, oh, don't even talk to me about Trump.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Don't even go there. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. When he was voted in, my eldest daughter cried. She was like, oh my God, we're going to hell in a handbasket. You know, if he's in charge. And little did we know.
They
Right?
made everybody believe, and it's so obvious now, their deviousness, but flip everything.
Everything.
Been told about anybody, and right now question everything because oh my goodness.
Yeah. 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 It's all about this thing. It all is about this thing.
Oh
The
yeah.
A, right?
Oh yeah. That's a huge, I think that's their biggest moneymaker.
Well, it's above heroin, it's above drugs, right? It is
Also,
the biggest, it's $1 trillion industry now.
Them young and all kinds of heinous things, all about them.
Yeah.
Right? Like this instant gratification that whole culture just aligns itself with.
Well, I talked about it, I think it was in our last call, not too sure, about how we had a copper shortage. Do you remember in Canada, we had a copper shortage and we had to put all our pennies in? Well, I found somewhere along the way that copper is actually used to elongate the life of the adrenochrome. I'm going to have this on BitChute so we can say the word. Yeah.
Good.
And so that's why we had all of a sudden a worldwide shortage of copper, was because it was being used, you know, to process the adrenochrome and keep it shelf worthy, right? Yeah, there it is again. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the sensual pleasures. I mean, their version of that. It's all about lust.
Yes.
The lust for all of those things, and even the apparently when they're indulging in that, like that video, frazzled.
Yeah.
With
did you ever see it?
Just a tiny moment of it. It was that was enough. It was horrifying.
I never did.
Who was in it? Yeah, I saw that, and sort of the after math of the whole hideous thing that they did.
And was Hillary actually in it?
Oh yeah, and also her that woman that was her. I think
her assistant.
They were both in it, absolutely lying there like they were in a bliss of some kind.
Really?
Right after doing hideous things. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I had PTSD for a couple of years, actually. I think it was actually the demise of my first marriage. You know, I mean, I was knee deep in exposing this crap for 17 years. And my marriage didn't survive it.
Yeah.
I barely survived it. God, you know, it literally was by the grace of God that I survived it. Yeah, it was some of the stuff I saw. It was, I'm just looking down in my notes here. Mm-hmm. Okay, what do you want to talk about? Anything else here?
I'd like to know, because they're talking about really big names going down now. I'd like to know, like, literally, as we speak, are there those tribunals going on with some big names yet?
Are there tribunals with big names going on right now? Yes or no? Absolutely. It's through the roof. Absolutely. Yeah.
I get that too.
Yeah.
And lots.
Yeah. Lots.
Because so many people are fearful that it's not going to happen. And I really believe. Let's ask, when will we, I don't know, are you okay with asking timing questions? Just, you know, it'll happen on time or anything, like the universe has its own idea of time. Let's just say in this next year, are we going to see footage of these tribunals? Because that would really help a lot of people.
Yeah, well, there's definitely going to be a judgment showing. You know, we will see actual court tribunals. I believe we will.
Yeah, in about 4 to 6 months, because this is my 4 to 6 months, like something changing. A lot has to change.
Yeah,
okay,
same
4,
So 4 in the celebration marriage, you know, this is absolute bliss, because I think that this is where we walk through, you know, and
The gateway.
the
Yeah, the
gateway.
wreath gateway. It's like, yay.
Yay.
Yeah.
Let's
Breakthrough.
celebrate. Yeah. And
Yeah.
it's the judgment, right? So it's the judgment card. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the whole world is going to be watching.
Yeah.
It's,
Oh,
as we said,
that's the, it needs to happen so bad
Yeah.
for people's healing.
Yeah.
They need to see that these guys aren't getting away with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It
the
would
devil
be
is going down.
horrifying.
Yeah.
If so they just swept it under the carpet or something and just carried on. That would not work.
No, not at all. Okay, the Academy Awards. Did you watch them?
Oh my goodness, I sure did.
Did you really?
That was talking about the Oscars, right?
Yeah, the Oscars. Yeah.
Oh, I watched it just because I wanted to see, because I had predicted that there'd be almost no stars, which was true.
Yeah.
And it was like the biggest farce I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they were
It
down
was
50%. Yeah,
Yeah.
in viewership. I was actually looking at the stats. In 2019, there were 29.6 million. In 2020, there were 23.6 million. And in 2021, there were 9.85 million. So 20 million gone in 2 years viewership. That was good. So we're voting with our viewership. Good job.
We're doing the same with CNN and Twitter. Apparently Twitter's way down.
Way
and
down.
A lot of their stocks are going to suffer. And
Yeah.
like, I don't know a lot about these things, but I just read that. Yeah. And they're not even telling us the half of it. Like, they're just still pretending, because now people are saying Twitter is so boring because they're taking out all the juice.
Exactly.
The truth and the real conversations are getting X everywhere. And that, guess what? That's what people want to talk about right now. So if you're not going to talk about it on your platform, your platform's going down.
Right. And that's why Bill C-10 is so important, because they want to stifle us even more.
Yep.
They want to absolutely cut out all conversation. You know,
Yep.
I see this as Twitter. I see this as Facebook. I see it as social media, period. That is
holding everybody back and
no
truth to get out there, but not for long, because that card we can move past it. In the card, the person has the blindfold. And also they're very loosely tied and their feet are free.
Yes.
So I think it means we just think we can't, we could all just step and decide not to support any of those things. And we have a lot of power as like we saw with Oscars. Yeah, again,
it's moving forward. You've got the power in your hands. Just, take action, move forward. Okay. McDonald's. Go ahead.
I did have a really cool vision, and I haven't shared it with anybody, but I thought it'd be fun to share here.
Okay.
I woke up and I must have been dreaming. So I have these vision dreams, and I woke up to, that scene. Did you watch the Hunger Games?
Yes, of course.
Okay. The scenes where all of the people are gathered and they have these tributes or whatever they call them from the poor districts. Okay, so the cities are full of these decadent, kind of like the Hollywood elites are becoming. They're becoming that absurd. Okay, or they were.
With the big outfits.
Just absurd,
like the inauguration.
Lady Gaga, sort of where her direction was going, meat dresses, absurdity. Okay, and so out of touch with anything real. And then everybody else is so poor. Okay, guess what? That's exactly the vision the elites had for us. They exactly what you see in the Hunger Games is exactly what they want to do. They cut off all the woods. You couldn't even go hunting in the woods. You were only fed what your little stamp would give you, which was probably all, GMO and really badly processed food.
Or
so
human
not right. You're keeping unhealthy. You're what they've been doing to us. Okay, and slowly they were trying to get us into these little groups and all divided. So if you watch the movie spells everything out. The commission said that was their whole plan for the future. They were going to have the cities to themselves in decadence with all of the like flying cars and everything, and we were going to be in the poorest areas with nature cut off from us. they were owning all of nature and they basically just taking over everything. And we were just crammed into little districts and fighting each other.
So
Like,
that
what
would
a
make
vision.
sense. Yeah, that would make sense. It's in alignment to what I've been seeing for a long time as well. One of the first things that came at least a year and a half ago was the 50 empty cities in China. Are you familiar with those?
No.
Let me show you.
Okay.
Okay, I want to show you something that'll raise your hair. These are images of empty cities in China that were built and they finished in 2016. So look at this, entire cities. And there are 50 of them in China. I exposed these at least a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. And I said, I think that they were designed to be for the last election in 2016. I think the ghost cities coming to life. We'll see they're starting to bring people in now because they've been sitting empty for a very, very long time. Look at this, huge cities, and they're complete, right?
That is unbelievably weird.
So I think that these were FEMA camps. This was the idea that when Hillary won, they would actually be moving, you know, the dissidents, you know, the people that are the vocal ones. I think that they were planning to move us up and to China in these cities. Now, these cities are all high-tech, you know, electronics. So in the apartments, they're all, you know, bugged. They all have cameras, so they know what you're saying. They know what you're, you know, everything. And it's very communist in that there are communist statues all over the city, and they're empty. They've been empty since 2015.
That is so absurd. Oh my goodness.
50 empty cities. It's just crazy. So I can't remember how many actual apartments there are, but I mean, it's like millions of apartments.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So they're just going to feed off people's energy, just get them all.
Well, you know, they waited for the 2016 election, and like I said, I think they were expecting Hillary to win. So
everybody was,
so they had talked about taking everyone out of rural areas and bringing them into the cities. That's what you just spoke about with the Hunger Games. And so it would be, you know, controlled, walls around everything. And that's what these 50 empty cities have. They have walls. It is totally fenced in. They're controlled. And why would they build 50 empty cities? What are they waiting for? Was it alien? Were they thinking that, you know, there was going to be some kind of ET coming? I don't think so. I think it was FEMA camps. And I think that, you know, that was the plan. So when she didn't win, everything went on hold for 4 years. And now, and then
I got this.
So what do you get from those?
Stressed that they wasted all their money too. They're really stressed out about it.
You won't believe this.
Oh my goodness. They're never going to be able to do it. Oh, that's those reaps. Oh yeah, look who I said who built it.
Oh my goodness. And I was asking, you were saying about, sorry, go ahead. You were saying who
dark cult, that's who built it.
Yeah.
You know who I mean by that, right? You can't say the words, but.
And I asked who built it, and it was death, right? The death of it. It's going to be completely,
unbelievable.
And again, in the hands of God.
Right? Okay, Did you hear those rumors that the Three Gorge Dam had started crumbling? Is that happening right now? We're just not hearing about it?
I heard that there was concern that it was going to break, but I didn't know that it was actually starting to break. I saw the pathway that the water would take, and it would take out cities, like major cities. But I got the high priestess.
secret. Things are being kept secret.
Secret.
I got the 10. So something's coming to an end. So any kind of, it's holding on literally by a hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the magician too can be like just hanging in there.
It
In the
just
next month, even with that ace.
Yep. And it's the ace
Oh
card,
boy.
right?
That could be the floods everybody was talking about.
But I think the floods are going to be a blessing, honestly. I think that it's going to wipe
I do
out.
too. I
Yeah.
know that sounds crazy, but they've
Yeah.
been moving people from those areas for a really
Yeah.
long time.
Exactly.
And it's like anybody still in the path, you know, get the heck out of there. I know that's hard to relocate, but
Well, they're hermits. The ones that are staying are defying, and they're not believing. They're sheep. So again, it goes back to, if you're not breaking yourself from being a sheep, if you're not, you know, blood across your door of the sheep, then you're going to be in the pathway of those that are.
because spiritually, if you're not learning what you came here to learn or doing what you need to do, you know, you'll figure it out. You have eternity to do it.
Yeah,
You'll
exactly.
have another shot at it in some other lifetimes. I mean, like, I don't sit around thinking about victims. I don't sit around. I believe that everything happens because it's supposed to, just the way it does. So anybody's choice that they make, that's what they're doing. And I just do what I do, which is, I'm not trying to change any one person's mind, not even close to it. I'm just here to support people. No, I'm not even. I don't even care. It's like, if you're not already awakened to this, I'm supporting who's waking up and open to it. And otherwise, you know, I couldn't care less. Like, not that I don't care about humans, but my philosophy says everybody's going to do the thing they're going to do. It's not up to me to drag them kicking and screaming into awareness. That doesn't work.
No, no, it's true, right? Yeah. Speaking of that, McDonald's. So have you seen that they're actually paying their employees vaccine pay at McDonald's?
Oh,
one of the biggest employers on the planet.
Goodness.
And they are paying their employees, you know, tell you what, you get the vaccine and we'll pay you, I think it's a week's worth of wage or a day's worth of wage. It's fairly significant, right? For someone that's on minimum wage.
To join this hideous sort of ritual.
Gene therapy.
It's literally a ritual. Yeah. It's like unbelievable. And, you know, people that are willing to take, like, I heard $100 was being offered to some people, donuts. Do you know what I mean? It's like, that's what your health is worth, and your freedom.
Your life. It's not just health. Yeah.
I think it's a test for humanity. I really do. It can't be anything else.
Yeah.
If you're willing to, it's like voting for Doug Ford because he offered cheap beer. Same thing, mentality.
Idiots.
You can keep your cheap beer, Doug Ford. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like, you know, they're not seeing right behind them the actual full story, right?
Yeah.
They're looking down and they're going, oh my God, fear, fear, fear at my feet. It's everything's spilled. Everything's, you know, a mess. And right behind them, if they just turned around, they would see a totally different picture. And that's why, you know, so many of us, we've turned around. We're, you know,
we balanced out.
Yeah, we balanced out. We're in union with one another, loving one another. Yeah. PCR test. I want to show you something. I've got it ready, actually. Just one sec. Okay, so look at this. In Egypt, the punishment for slaves was breaking the gland, breaking the brain, the blood-brain barrier, right? By putting a stick up the nose and touching the seal that's at the back. And by breaking that brain or blood-brain barrier, you're actually creating a susceptibility to pollution, viruses, bacteria, all kinds of different forms. And so this was torture for Egyptians back in the day. Isn't that interesting?
That is fascinating. Everything they're doing is like a ritual, preparing them for slaughter.
Yep. So, you know, anyone that's had that done, you have to do some self-healing and actually visualize the back of your seal, right? The blood-brain barrier. It's like a sheath. I want you to actually visualize it healing. Every cell, every molecule healing. And that way there is a seal between your brain and your sinuses. Because when you breathe in pollen, when you breathe in any kind of viruses, if that seal's broken, it goes in and you can get gangrene to the brain. You know, people that did a lot of cocaine, they actually had gangrene of the brain because when they'd snort cocaine, it would go up to the blood-brain barrier and it would start to rot it away. Eventually it went into the brain and they'd get gangrene of the brain, right? Yeah, and you're here, you know, the I know the word, encephalitis. Nope, I haven't got it. Anyways, yeah, it's right there.
Wow.
So many people are pronouncing it out loud, but
oh, hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't know the word. Yeah, I can't say that. Yeah,
I know. Yeah. So anyways, I thought that was really interesting. In fact, let's go over a couple of things here. Okay, so that was, okay, so this was Pierre, who we talked about at the very beginning, and he was talking about Bill C-10. So this was interesting. They were talking about the Matrix curse, you know, the movie The Matrix?
Yeah.
And how there is a disappearance of men in society. The man, the role model of male, you know, testosterone is actually disappearing. In fact, our grandfathers had double the amount of testosterone in their system, around 735 parts per billion or whatever it was, compared to the males today, the 350, 400. So these two were the brothers, Wachowski brothers, right? And they were the ones that were the producers of The Matrix, which we love that series. It told so much. But this is them now. They both have transgender. And I think that this is creating a whole movement. This is part of the cabal, is to,
that is,
you know, release us from having any males in our society. This one, Rudy Giuliani. Okay.
I saw that interview. It was fascinating. What's going on?
I know, right? Yeah. So let's look into Rudy. Okay. What is going on with Rudy Giuliani? The one theory that I heard, it was on UK, oh gosh, what's the name of that channel? UK channel? Something like that. Anyways, they were saying that there is a theory that it was actually rigged by Rudy Giuliani. That this this seizing of evidence was rigged by Trump and by Rudy Giuliani. And the reason being is now in a court of law, he can actually bring all that evidence in and have it be in front of a judge.
I think that's true. Yeah. Because that part's manipulated, and this was them. So this is Rudy's part. So he manipulated the whole thing. It was a manipulation. And it's going to serve him. It's going to speed things up.
I agree. And it's the death of the cabal. I really believe that, you know, he's marching forward. He's got his flag. He's like, okay, that's it.
Speeded everything up. It was brilliant. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. He's tied it up in one nice, lovely little package. And like you say, it is the end. It is.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. The end, my friend.
I'm done with that. I'm done with them picking on those guys. I'm really done. I really like Rudy. I don't know why.
I love Rudy.
And, no matter how, you know, silly they make them look on the news, like I see beyond that. Yeah, I wasn't able to see beyond what they were smearing Trump with.
Yeah.
But then I figured it out with my cards, figured it out with me or showed me. But Rudy, I always liked him for some reason. I just liked his energy.
Yeah, I know. He's a real sweetheart, actually. I think he's got, you know, his intentions are in the right direction. Yeah, it's funny because I was talking to my husband this morning about Pence, and I said, how could I have not seen Pence for who he is? Because I liked Pence. I thought he was actually a nice man, you know,
Very much
and I
into
was
me.
like, what kind of psychic am I? I didn't see that one.
Oh, you know what?
No,
Certain people, like, you get blocks. Yeah.
I didn't
And
even
also
look into him.
they have all kinds of magic working. Don't
Yeah,
forget. Right.
yeah,
So they're masking the energy and pretending to be
yeah.
a Christian when he's like the darkest
He's the
evil ever in
devil.
life. Christianity is going to have a lot of hard work coming back from this. Horrifying, because I know there's good Christians, but they might want to, I don't know, think about a new branding, you know, maybe
Totally.
change the name. I know that sounds kind of difficult, but honestly, yeah,
I
you're gonna have
agree.
to just revamp everything,
I agree.
restart, because
There we go. Okay, so this is what I was talking about with McDonald's. Yeah, and you know they were getting pay for taking and loving our crew, right? Yeah, take the gene therapy that has how many deaths.
Mhm.
So I was looking at, and we saw that. We saw that.
Loving you so much that we're going to ruin your lives and your health.
Yeah. Well, you know, then Celine Dion, this is from 2018. This was a while
Yeah.
ago, but it popped up again. And do you remember this? Uh,
Oh yeah,
her clothing
horrifying,
line? Yeah, with the horse
horrifying.
and everything. So Celine Dion, that might be one of the ones, this is probably why it popped up, with Gitmo. Is Celine Dion in Gitmo? Yes or no? No.
Ooh, yeah, let's check it out.
Is she arrested? Yes or no? Yes. Um, is she going into tribunals? Yes or no? It's undecided yet.
I get she's off planet.
Oh, is she off? Yeah, I didn't even have to finish. Yes, she's off planet. Yeah.
She's been taken off planet.
Wow.
And I don't know why they're processing people off. Think of, she was
The world.
manipulating
Yeah.
herself. She'll never be back.
Yeah.
So that they're dealing with her that way. She was really ultimately a victim. But
Mm.
I mean, I get it. Like, so she's still doing those things, and it's horrifying when you look at her. You can tell
Yeah.
she's obviously addicted to that horrible
Very
substance.
much.
She's
Yeah.
horrible looking,
Yeah.
unfortunate these days. But let me tell you, she was a victim herself because she was handed over by her parents, who obviously raised her just to give over to some high member of dark cult, that creep that was her husband, who
Yeah.
was her handler her whole life.
Yeah.
She was 14 when he got his hands on her, and
I
then
thought
he
she was
married.
12. I thought she
Yeah,
was
or even,
younger.
could have
Yeah.
even been younger. Yeah, and then he married her. Like, they probably just cover it up,
Yeah.
how really young she was. And then they try to say that somehow that's okay. Give me
Yeah.
a break.
I
Give
know.
me a break.
Yeah.
She never stood a chance.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. So I think that bunch, people that were brought up in it and ended up just, like MK Ultra, not in their own essence anymore and whatever, I think they took them off planet to deal with them somewhere else, some other kind of healing that they're going to have to go through.
So I have an interesting story because, you know, I feel like I'm like this close to so many people that turned out to be really dark. It's like,
Yeah.
how, right? One of them, you're getting more birthday messages, aren't you?
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
Yeah, it's awesome. You're loved. You're loved. Oh, I love it. Okay, so in my book, I wrote about my first boyfriend that I had the abortion with, and he went off. He actually ended up working with one of the biggest music producers in the world. And
Wow.
he became his right-hand man. Now, he's such a devout Christian. He is so in alignment. I don't believe with an ounce of me that he was involved with this. But everyone around him, holy mackerel. And Celine was one of them. She was right there. He worked with her on a regular basis. So,
Wow.
you know, I look at this and I go, you know, surely he's not involved. He can't be. He can't be, right? Yeah.
Okay, they kept him around to make themselves look better.
That's smart.
And he completely shut off his intuition to stay dumb to it. But if he would have just opened his eyes, it was all around him.
All around him. That's
And
what
they do that to certain people. They
Yeah.
do that to certain people because it makes them look good.
Yeah.
So he chose not to see, or chooses not to see it.
Right. It was like a juggling act. It was
Yeah.
like, you know,
Yeah.
going back and forth, back and forth. Yeah. Do. And meanwhile, this is right in front of you.
Yeah, right in front of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he had private jets, he had the whole, you know, world around him. But
It's like, see, if this guy who's a devout Christian gives us the nod, we must be good. They do that. They pick certain people to sort of leave on the sidelines,
yeah.
to buffer themselves.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah, but Judgment Day will come.
Yeah, you bet.
Yeah, the Judgment Day will
Even
come.
for people like that, like being stupidity is not okay.
No.
When you're sitting right in front of something and you don't change your ways.
Yeah, yeah. When I think back, this one image keeps coming back to me, and Solicitor General of Canada, and God, what the hell was her name? Anyways, I probably shouldn't say her name, but I was the biggest thorn in her side in the late 90s, early 20s, or early 2000s. And I remember, you know, Paul Martin at the time was the Prime Minister. I was having meetings with him and Martin Kishon and Wayne Minister, the Justice Minister, and all those guys. And I remember them huddling, and they were all kind of whispering. And this is in the House of Commons, when you see people walking up and there's like the curtains in behind, right? And they disappear behind those curtains. In behind those curtains is what's called a lobby. It's a lobby on both sides. You go and you have refreshments and you can sit and you can chat, and a lot of meetings take place. And I was in there, and I walked up to Paul Martin and, you know, all of and God, why have I gone blank? Anyways, mix something. Anyways, she looked at me and everyone shut up, and I could feel like a lamb coming into a bunch of wolves. There was a moment there that it just felt like, you know, it wasn't that they got quiet because, you know, it was top secret what they were talking about or anything like that. It was more, I was enemy number one because I was exposing pedophiles left, right, and center, right? And I just, it's a vision that keeps coming and coming and coming to me.
Yeah.
Anne McClellan, there we go. Yeah, and there's the card, right? It was all about
Their sensual pleasures at the expense of living beings.
Yes.
Our children and our women and men, everybody, like nobody's excluded from that.
No.
When they're desperate, or pets even, apparently. When they got desperate, they're using.
Oh, I didn't know that one.
Animals.
That would make sense though, right? Yeah.
Right. But I think about how they, you know, created producing our meat. Like, we're all part of that ritual, right? Where they're torturing animals, and you know what I mean? Like, I'm a big meat eater, so but I really try now to source it from farmers.
Yeah.
Don't take it to the slaughterhouse, but you know, still, like, that's something I'll probably have to address one of these days, just looking into how to change that energetically.
I couldn't eat meat now if you said that's the last bit of food on the planet.
Yeah.
I wouldn't touch it. And that was because I had that realization again, living in High River. We were right beside the slaughterhouse, and the smell of the slaughterhouse would come over the farmland, and you would smell the rotting flesh. It was so cold, you know, it was putrid. And we had some tenants that lived with us, and they were employees at the slaughterhouse, and they said something really unusual to me. God, I love all the dings that you're getting, all those happy birthdays.
I have to figure out how to shut that off. I'm trying to get help on that. Yeah. But I know there's a way.
Yeah. So these employees, they said something really interesting. They were talking about how the cattle go up a ramp, and they go way up, like 2 stories up, and then, or a story up. And then they get the bullet to the head up there, and they fall down and they're hanging. And so they know that they're going, you know, they can see each one being killed in front of them as they're going this ramp. And one of the guys said, you know, I always wondered about that because cattle never leave the ground. That must be absolutely terrifying for them to be lifting up, 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 up.
They're terrifying them. Yeah.
They're terrifying them. They're doing it deliberately to create the adrenochrome in the blood, in the meat that you and I consume. So they've actually been getting us to do this adrenochrome for decades and decades and decades, the way that they've been slaughtering animals. So I haven't been able to eat any meat. You know, I've been a vegetarian for a very, very, very long time now, and proudly. Yeah. Because I don't support that. I vote with my pocketbook. Right? So last thing I want to share with you, just one more thing. Okay, so this is the last one. I'm going to accept the cookies there. Did you hear about this, the Crazy Times Carnival that is going up? It's being set up right now, right next to the Arizona's recount, where they're recounting all of the ballots.
No, I haven't heard anything. That's crazy times.
Yes, crazy times. So CTC is also initials, and I've been trying to find that, but I heard it once, and it was a Chinese corporation or position within the Chinese government. It was a CTC. And this just happens to have the same initials, and they're bringing in thousands of people, and they're going to be right beside the area where they're recounting all these ballots. So my first thought was, they're going to try to sabotage and perhaps burn down the building, because I could see the ballots going up in flame. You know, they have all those ballots in cardboard, like file boxes, not fireproof boxes. They're all in just these wooden boxes. And so my first thought was, this is Antifa, BLM. They're going to come in and they're going to try and you know, either raid the place or, you know, do something to what do you think?
I'm getting, it's got a mixture to it. I'm getting some of it's been infiltrated. They knew this was coming, and it might have been originally for that, but it's been flipped and taken over or infiltrated by the good guys.
Oh, really? Oh, good.
And now they're going to change it to basically bring attention to the fact that they're doing that.
Yeah.
And even the name of it, Crazy Times.
Yeah.
Carnival. It's a carnival. The whole thing that happened since November has been a carnival. What a joke. Like, it's part of the movie. Now they're gonna wing it and make it part of the movie. I'm not worried about it, because those guys originally had a plan, and then it got taken over by the good guys.
Right. Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Because my first vision was flames. I saw fire, and I thought, okay, we got to put a white light around that, and we're gonna,
Well, it must have worked.
Exactly, because the clouds are lifting, right? Yeah. And
right. Remember what happened in where was it? Texas, Nashville, or something like that, with that situation with the guy, you know, was going to blow up some building.
Oh yes,
right.
Exactly.
They took that over. Okay, this is the same thing I get. They're going to make it into they're using it. Yeah. It's brilliant, really. It's brilliant.
Yeah, a lot of assistance coming to the rescue, you know. New beginnings. Yes, the chariot.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, they're coming in. Okay, I think that's it. Oh, one last thing. I want to show you this. Okay. So I want to show you this, because I was thinking about, I kept hearing, look into the deaths, Carrie, look into the deaths. And I was like, deaths of celebrities then? And it just said, look into the deaths. So I put in deaths 2021. And this is what I got. And, you know, we didn't really talk about India because we know that it's a false flag, right? I mean, they put in, it was fake footage. The media was showing fake footage from a gas leak
Here they were.
Yeah. Yeah, and where a lot of people from India did die, but they were showing fake footage.
Yeah.
And so I thought this was really interesting though, because very first, so this is, May 1st, which is today. So an Indian writer and sitarist, so, playing the instrument, he passed away. Indian actor passed away, Indian politician and convicted kidnapper.
Wow.
So these are people around the world. I looked at it and went, well, is this just India? Because when I went down further, India cinematographer and, Thai actor, but there were so many Indian journalist, Indian jurist, Indian bureaucrat, Indian sharpshooter, Italian, Indian politician. It was like Indian from India, right?
Wow.
In the last couple of days. And so why do we have so many people disappearing and passing in India? I thought that was kind of interesting. So, what was going on in India that they wanted to create another pandemic, right?
They got hot spots.
Mm-hmm.
So they got these little, because they can't do it, like they don't have the resources anymore, or they never maybe did have they didn't plan this out. I feel like this all got pushed forward, this agenda. I think it was meant for a few years down the road, but something got loose in Wuhan or whatever. I think that part's actually true. When I first looked at it, it looked like actually, so they had to run with their plan. They weren't as organized as they wanted. They wanted way more passings over. They wanted way more destructive things. And then they just had to pump up fear.
Right.
Okay, so they're doing these little hot spots, okay, where they're doing everything they can to make something look really bad in one area. So everybody focuses and they got something to focus on in the news. And then they can drum up. We were at a restaurant, Ashley and I, outdoors, because you can't sit inside. And we were sitting outside late yesterday, just before it closed. And the waiter, you should have heard him going on about, he doesn't think he should, he's probably going to have to stop waiting and stuff, because I felt so bad for him, because some friend of his was telling him all about what was happening in India. And he was just like beside himself. Drinking so full of fear. And you know what I said to him? I just said that I didn't want to get into it or ruin his, little fear-based thingy there. But I said, you know what? Trust your body. Mm-hmm. Trust your body. You're a very strong person. You are not going, do some research on masks. They really don't work for this kind of illness. Just trust your body and trust yourself. You remember that mainstream media likes to pump and fearmonger. So be careful about that. I just gave him another perspective, but we let him go on. And we didn't tell him he was wrong.
No.
Because he was so invested in it. But we just reminded him. And that's what's going on. It's just a pocket that they're just creating happiness.
Yeah. My divorce lawyer, I loved his saying. He used to say to me, Carrie, out reasonable the unreasonable. And that's what you did, right? You let him just go and go and go and go and go until there was nothing else left for him to say. And then you gave him a different perspective and you out reasonable the unreasonable.
Yeah.
The fear.
Yeah.
Well done.
We walked into that restaurant, no masks.
Good.
Because 4 steps to the table, we're going to put a mask on outside.
I know.
For 4 steps. Give me a break. So
we have to do that at the gym. Yeah.
It's like, come on.
I know. Like I said to you, we just opened today. First time. We've been closed in Portugal for almost 3 months. It's been brutal. And like I said, I joined the gym last week. And so 5 days in a row, woohoo, I made it to the gym. But when you go into the gym, from the car to the gym entrance, you don't have to wear a mask, right? You're outside. The moment that you walk in, you have to put the mask on. Once you go past the little turnstile and get into the women's change room, then you can take the mask off. And you're walking with the same people. I mean, I was thinking to myself, does no one they're all complicit. Like no one,
Yeah.
I wasn't wearing it and I got in trouble and I got in trouble and I got in trouble.
It's completely absurd. It's like, come on, you guys.
Yeah. So the virus only exists from over there, right? Right
Yeah.
on that turnstile to right there. And
Yeah.
then once you come into the gym, you don't need the mask.
Yeah.
So you can work out without the
Yeah.
mask. But just that little pocket of about 10 feet, you have to wear a mask. And you know, I just beside
It's
myself.
literally virtue signaling at its finest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, well, that was absolutely wonderful again. Happy birthday to you.
Anytime.
Yeah. What are you going to do for your birthday besides celebrate all week long?
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
I'm celebrating all. That's all. Good.
Well, I'm sure you're going to get so many birthday wishes for you. I wish I was there to celebrate, or better yet, I wish you were here to celebrate.
Yeah. The weather's nice there.
It's beautiful. We're really starting to get good weather. We haven't really had weather for quite some time. Everyone that's local here, they've been saying this is the most
Yep.
Yeah, putting a shield. He put chalk dust up in the stratosphere to reflect. Yeah, at least 2% of the sun's rays are being reflected back.
Unbelievable. Like when we used to watch movies with the diabolical, a guy that wanted to ruin the whole universe, we didn't think that was real. How could anyone be that bad? Yeah. Oh, they can.
Oh, yeah. And there was a few of them, right?
Somebody actually wrote me when I first started talking about how bad B. Gates was.
Yeah.
And they wrote me this big thing. Oh, my kids go to school with somebody that knows him and he's really nice.
Great guy.
He gives so much money. Okay, really?
I know, right?
That's what they do. Oprah gave away cars. Okay.
Yes.
And then she, you know what she does with your kids
Mm.
and wears a ring to tell you that.
I know. She wears the same ring as all the others.
The blood diamond. And we're not kidding about that. It's made out of a human being.
Yeah. You know, I had a ruby ring most of my life. I had bought myself a ring when I was in my 20s. I thought, I'm not going to wait for a guy to buy me a ring. I'm going to buy myself a ring.
I like that too.
I found this most gorgeous ruby with, you know, diamonds all around it. And one of the diamonds fell out. So I haven't worn it for a couple of years. I just haven't gotten it repaired. And when all these ring things came out, I was like, phew, okay, good thing I'm not wearing that ring anymore.
Yeah, you'll have to reconfigure it into something else.
Exactly. Yeah, it was a beautiful ruby though, but it's not a blood diamond. No, not at all.
Of course not.
Yeah, and it was funny. What were you just talking about there? You were talking about, who were you talking about?
B. Gates?
Yeah. And, yeah. Okay, so Bill Gates, he actually brought in computers to all the police departments. Did you know that? Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So here's a scoop for you. Sergeant Paul Gillespie.
Genius.
Yeah, Sergeant Paul Gillespie, great guy. He is probably one of the best hearted police officers I have ever met. He was in charge of the Toronto Child Crimes Unit. And for years and years, you know, and he was a fellow witness in the Justice Committee of Canada. So we'd always sit beside one another and I'd hear, you know, what he was up to, or I'd help him with other cases. Anyways, he phoned me up one day and he said, guess what I'm doing? And I said, what? And he goes, I thought it's taking 3 months to take, you know, a warrant to find out if this pedophile is wanted in any other province across Canada, because you have to send that piece of paper to each department, each city, and it has to go across every province. And it takes about 3 months to come all the way back to the original place and say, yes, that guy is wanted here, there, and everywhere. Well, by that time, the pedophile is gone. Right? Yeah. He's in hiding, or she is in hiding again. So he thought, you know, maybe we could get our computer systems upgraded. And so he approached Bill Gates, and Bill Gates volunteered to give a computer to every single police department in Canada. And he wrote the computer software.
Of course he did.
Yes. So that way every computer was joined right across the country, and within an instant we could find out, you know, who was wanted, basically. I thought that was brilliant at the time.
Oh, brilliant.
And I went,
Brilliant.
wait a minute. He wrote the friggin' software. He's got access. He's got a back door. He knows anything and everything about every single citizen
That's
in
so
Canada.
scary. I can't
You know.
even tell you.
Yeah, I had to get my fingerprints done when I owned a mobile home park, and because I had a master key, we had a car, not a car dealership, manufactured home dealership, and because I had a master key to all of the homes, I had to get bonded, and so they had to actually do like a criminal check on me and everything. So I had to go and get myself fingerprinted, and I often think my fingerprints are in some computer system somewhere, and Bill Gates has my
Yeah.
yeah.
Not anymore. Bill Gates, I figure he's been processed a long time ago,
Long
or
time
he's been, they got him. Yeah. I
Yeah.
really feel it.
Did they get Bill Gates? Yes. Yeah, 100%. And is Bill Gates still alive? Yes or no? No, he's being processed, as you
I
said.
get 3 months into the year.
Was it 3 months into the year? Yes. Yeah, you're bang on.
Yeah.
Wow, like 100%. I even whacked.
That sounds like March,
Yeah.
but they had so
it
much
was,
on.
It was like March 1st. It was the first week in March.
Yeah.
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 Mhm.
Wow.
Very good.
Awesome.
Okay. Well,
Better scoot and answer all these emails.
I know, right?
Text messages. I got about that many.
Oh my goodness. Happy birthday. Now you get to go through all of those emails.
Oh yeah. It'll be
Gosh,
fun.
It'll be fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know you're loved, and that's a
Yeah,
good.
it's wonderful. Actually, it's so much
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
last year was the worst birthday ever, 59, and the lockdown had just started, and I had planned this huge party because I was
Yep.
going to go 59, yay, last of my 50s, and like as I love throwing parties.
Yep.
And no, of course, nobody could come, and like it all got shut down. I was going to do it anyway, but everyone was so scared. All my friends
I know,
and family
right?
were like, no, we're not coming.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh brother.
Yeah. Yeah. But now, woohoo!
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
you gonna? Well, we won't talk about it. But
Yeah. No.
yeah. But
We'll
yeah,
have
but
fun.
enjoy yourself and have fun and go to a
Okay.
restaurant and enjoy yourself.
Exactly.
I know we will here, where actually restaurants are open. We actually got a pizza. Woohoo!
That is brilliant.
Yeah,
Good.
I got a
We
free
got-
day today.
got to go to a restaurant.
Very good. Okay, I love you.
Okay.
Yeah, until next time.
And
Okay.
everybody buy local. Go to your local
Yes.
restaurant. Support your local people. Love it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Carrie.
Yeah. Take care, hun. Bye now.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
Okay. Bye.